Is you the boy in the title? So what are these things that you know too much?
Well, when I was younger, I felt like I knew too much. Because I was always outside. I was always the kind of the loner. And I was always the person who was watching from a distance. And I think when you spend your whole time looking at people from a distance, you feel like you know everything about them. Do you know what I mean? It's like this stalker syndrome, which I was a stalker as a kid. I used to kind of follow people, and that's how I felt. You know, I felt privileged with my knowledge, and I took comfort in that because it gave me something. If I wasn't popular, at least I knew. You know, and that's how I felt. So that's the first layer. The second part of it is it's a Hitchcock reference. And the third part of it is the man theory, obviously. And the third part of it is I wanted a title that had the word boy in it. It's kind of like my final, almost like my final examination of my own youth. You know, there's so many references to the boy. The 1-foot boy, toy boy, blame it on the girls, blame it on the boys. There's a bonus track in the US called Love Boy. There's a lot of the boy references. So I wanted a title with the word boy in it. So it worked on many levels. And I just wanted a title that felt like a movie. It didn't feel like originally it was called We Are Golden, and I knew I was always going to change it. I didn't like that as a title for the album. I thought it was lazy. I didn't think it painted enough of a world. And also it was doing something twice, which the one rule about things is that you should never repeat yourself, you know. So I wanted something like that, The Boy Who Knew Too Much. Something that felt like it had been there all along, but actually, you know, was new. I'm sorry, it's not it's not a soundbite answer. It's not a direct kind of 30-second answer. But that's nothing. You know, when people like, you know, I always remember being in an interview in where was I? It was an Asian interview, and they went, "Why is your album called Life in Cartoon Motion?" I said, "Well, you know, it's about looking at your life through the eyes of a cartoon and the speed of things and the saturation of colors." And everyone was like, and she gave me a terrible review. I'm convinced it's because she couldn't understand a single word I said. But you know, it's all the things that don't make perfect sense are always the ones that are most interesting to me. And it's in my lyrics, it's in everything. You know, I like the kind of, it's like, you know, I like confusing myself sometimes. I enjoy it.
It seems that you want to be an eternal boy.
No!
Someone that plays with...
I like your bow tie.
Thank you, I like your bracelet.
Thank you very much. This Peter Pan syndrome. It's not me. But I am fascinated by youth. I'm fascinated with identity, and I think we are most unique when we are younger. We are our most undiluted when we are younger. And we have that beaten out of us as we get older. And then when we get old all over again, you know, we become unique again because we don't care anymore, because we're old and we smell. And we know we're going to die, and so we become like we were when we were children. You know, it's kind of like we do this. Go, we come back. But the Peter Pan syndrome is, I am not a victim of that. I definitely not. It's not a thing about escapism. To me, it's what I find really interesting is the combination of darkness, or kind of slight, the grittiness of everyone's normal life, all the shit that we all have to deal with every day, presented in a kind of comic book format. And comic books inevitably are naive. And I try and do that with my music, take that attitude. You know, you read something by Daniel Clowes. Do you know Daniel Clowes? What was the movie version? It was Ghost World that they made a movie of his comic book. And he deals with kind of very mundane things, and quite horrible things happen, and quite normal things happen. But it's all done in a comic book, in a graphic novel, is what you're supposed to call it, but it's just a comic. And so it deals with a kind of very childlike form of art, but with quite serious things. And to me, that combination is really fascinating. It almost means that you can get people to listen to you without them even knowing what you're going to talk about. So in a way, it gives what you're saying power, you know. But I guess I do like naive things. But I think the Peter Pan syndrome is one that is like fiberglass. It's one where the horse on the merry-go-round looks beautiful until it's chipped, and then you realize it's made of paper and plastic. And it's one that has no darkness around it. So you take, but when you take that childish side and you add darkness or depth or reality to it, you get something that has a lot more facets to it, a lot less two-dimensional. Because I guess everyone thinks that, I get the one thing that really annoys me when I get reviewed is when people say, "Oh, Mika, he's like a children's entertainer." Oh. It makes me just, I don't know what it makes. It makes me want to annoy them more. It doesn't make me want to run out and stick heroin in my arm to prove that I'm a rebel. I have no desire to do that, but it does just infuriate me that people don't get it. Some reviewers feel like it's easier to paint me as this kind of like forever child figure. I think that's not healthy.
It seems that you're having so much fun in your life, like a child.
Like
in a positive meaning.
In a positive way,
yeah.
You mean? Maybe yes. I think I do. Because I keep a certain amount of detachment. And in a way, I think because when you grow up and you're not popular, and I say this with no hint of a violin playing in the background, like I'm not there to sing a song of sorrow, but when you grow up and you're not popular, you develop this sense of like detachment, separation from things, and I guess that in life that's made it so much easier for me to deal with so many of the things that have happened around me and in my family, and we have this kind of sense of like, so it's okay to have fun, and it's okay to laugh, and it's okay to be tough, because you do it with a smile, you don't get beaten up by everything that happens to you in life, because you don't let it beat you up. I think that's a very, almost like a Lebanese attitude. 1 minute they're crying, 1 minute they're laughing, but they're never boring,